Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to it. Today's video is my revamped game, which is my Go Fish TBR game. I have revamped it and I'm very excited about it, so let's get straight into the video and I can tell you all the changes and what you can expect when I start this game again in July. So, if you're new here and you've just come across my video, then you will have no idea that I actually do a TBR game. And if you are a subscriber and you regularly watch my videos, then you probably do know I have a TBR game and that I have just paused it and wanted to change it up. I will link the video of me explaining my original Go Fish TBR game, but just to do a little recap, just in case you can't be bothered or whatever reasons. Basically, my original Go Fish TBR game that I started, I think, in March, consisted of my daughter's Go Fish cards, my TBR jar that has a mixture of books that I have on my shelves and books that are on my Kindle, and I also had a piece of paper which had all the sea creatures on and then prompts matching the sea creatures. So the game format was basically, I have 12 cards, so 1 to 12 of the cards. I shuffle them and then I lay them down like face down and I blindfold myself. I turn around a few times and I pick a card, and then whatever card I pick, for example 12 starfish, okay, the number, which is 12, would be how many pieces of paper I take out of the TBR jar, and I would then open the paper and they will have the books that I have to read, and then the sea creature, which is the starfish, will be a prompt. For example, the prompt could have been read a book that was gifted for me, so I'd have to find a book that recently got gifted to me and read it. That was the game, and there's nothing wrong with that game apart from I am a mood reader and I really struggled with this aspect of the game, if I'm going to be honest. So I think I started in March and I was alright with March because I literally picked out, I had a good month because the card I picked up was number 1 and the prompt card to that was an even nicer prompt. So number 1, it was I just had to pick one book out of the TBR jar, and then if I remember rightly, the prompt card for that was read a book that a friend recommended me to read. And so I had my book bestie Hannah on the background, and she told me to read anything that was by Agatha Christie. So I read my first Agatha Christie book, and it was fine. I enjoyed that, and I was like, I'm okay with that. But when April came, I had, I think, 7. Yeah, I had 7. The number 7, so I had to pick out 7 out of here. And then the prompt was nice because the prompt was read a book that was gifted to me, which was fine because there was a book that was gifted to me that I really wanted to read, and that was Girls I've Been. But the actual TBR jar side of things, a couple of the books I did read, which funny enough were romance, and I actually was in the mood and didn't mind reading them, but there were some other books in there I just wasn't in the mood for, and then that meant I wasn't reading anything from my game. And I just knew if I carried on with this game, it was going to be that I was going to constantly have to do a punishment because I was not going to fulfill all of it. And I was struggling purely because I'm a mood reader, but also because I take part in tour hosts. I'm a tour host, so I do have a lot of books that I read for tours. On top of that, I am in a few book clubs, and I started my own book club and my own read along. And so I didn't have any actually books that I just chose for myself or was like, right, I'm in the mood for this excuse me, and I just for a mood reader, you need something where you can choose the book. And so that's when I decided to change my game into a prompt-based game, because that was what I enjoyed the most in my original game. So that is the before. It's not going to happen anymore. It still involves my Go Fish cards. It still involves that. Nothing has changed, because no one has a game that's called Go Fish TBR Game. I want my game to be original to me, and that is none out there, because you've got Wheel of Fortune, you've got Jenga, you've got darts. There are a lot bingo. There are a lot of board game ones as well. And I thought, no, I don't want to copy them, because I probably would outrightly copy, and that's not fair. I just wanted something that was original to me, that I have, which these cards, because they're my daughter's and we love playing it. And yeah, so it concludes this pack of cards, 2 die, or dices, die, it's die, isn't it? I should just dropped on the floor. It includes a hell of a lot of prompts. I don't want to see them properly. There is loads. And then it also includes lists, which is numbers 1 to 12. But this is more of a put things down rather than anything important so much. So the game is pretty simple. We have the cards 1 to 12, and we have my prompt cards. Now I am going to now stop this and go and show you a demo and explain what's going on, and then come back and do the final things you need to know. So the game, like I said, we have got the Go Fish cards, but we only need the cards 1 to 12. And we definitely need these prompt cards. So I'm just going to quickly just roughly shuffle them. And then basically we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pop them. I'll just put them up there a minute. And then we've got the cards. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there's 12 there. And basically there are 6 rounds, but the first round only involves 1 dice, and that is because if I roll 2 dices, I will never get the 1 card. So 1 dice, roll it, it lands on a 4, and I pick, I don't want to look, the prompt card. And so whatever I roll, so the first round I roll 1 dice, and then the second round and for the rest of the rounds I will do the double dice, so that means 7. So then I pick the 7 card and then reveal whatever that prompt is. That is the game side of things, but there are different things involved as well, which we'll get to now. Pretty much that is the game. However, there are added bits in it, like I said. So if I roll, say, a 7, I have the prompt card, and then I will obviously put a new prompt card in again. If I roll another 7, I have to add an extra roll, which will then give me 7 rolls, which then pretty much gives me 7 books, and vice versa. And this is where this book comes in. So I have got 1 to 12 on there, and if I have rolled for the second time a 7, then I will put a 1 tally mark there. And basically when I get to 5 tally marks, I then have to do a punishment, which is read a book that is from my big unhaul stack, which is in the corner over here, which I am going to actually show you. There's a massive big stack of books there. Yeah. They are apart. I need to sort it out because there's a couple that I have read that I've just put on there because I will never read again. But majority of them are books that I have completely unhauled because they've been on my shelves for so long, like for years I mean, and I've never read them and I'm never going to. So those books there are my punishment books. So when I get 5 tallies for that particular number that I have, that I've done, so say for example 7 and I have 5 tallies for it, I have to read a book from there. And another punishment is if I do not read any of the books that were in my TBR, I have to ask either you guys or someone on Bookstagram a punishment, which is where you will come in. Now if I haven't finished say 1 book, which whatever that prompt was, I will put it back in my prompt pile because I haven't actually read anything on there. But all of the prompts that I have read, they will obviously be discarded. They'll never happen again. I've got enough prompts at the moment where I don't need to think anymore, but when they start to dwindle down, this is when I probably might start asking people to give me some prompt ideas. In regards to prompts, they are nice and mean ones. They're a mixed match. There are some ones that aren't so awful, but ones that I don't particularly want, which I think there was some of a continue finish a series that I started. So depending on how many series I've got that I haven't finished, it might be nice for me. But if there is one series that's really long and that's the only series that I haven't finished, then it's going to be a bit of a bugger because that could be like 6-7 books or whatever. So yeah, that is pretty much the game. Like I said, it's a simple game for me because I don't want to give me added stress or anything like that. But I have got some interesting prompts, and the prompts fit with the books that I have. And yeah, so basically I have 6 rounds. The first round will just be with 1 dice because then it gives me the chance to get that 1 card. And then the remaining 5 rounds will be the double dice. And like I said, whichever card I do, that will be the prompt. I will then change the prompt so there's a new one there. I will obviously then choose the book that matches that prompt. But if I, in those rounds, have rolled and I've landed on another number that I've already rolled, so like I said, if I rolled a 7 and then I roll a 7 on like the 3rd round, I have to put a tally in and then I have to add another throw. So technically I will start off with 6 rounds and 6 books, but depending on how many extra rolls I have to do, it could be up to 12. Yeah, I'm really excited because I can't remember the prompts. I did the prompts a while ago. Yesterday I added a few other prompts because I did put a story up on my Bookstagram just to say, could you give me some more nice and mean prompts? I have got some prompts that also involve like an extra game kind of thing as well, from what I remember. But yeah, that is pretty much the game. It's simple, but it's fun. It's prompt based, and it means I can choose a book, and that's all that I want. Like, I just want to physically choose a book. Whether I want to read that book, it doesn't matter because I will. But it is just the aspect of I am choosing a book which gives me that mood readers feel that I want. Because that is what I want really, is just choose a book off my shelf and be like, yeah, like I might not be in the mood for that, but I have chosen it. It's the mood that I was in the mood for when I did it, kind of thing. But obviously it is matching the prompts. So yeah, that is my new improved game. It's still going to be called my Go Fish TBR game. It's not going to be changed. It is just now prompt based. But yeah, like I said, give me all of your ideas for punishments. Give me all your ideas for prompts, good or bad, because I will happily have more, and I've got some in the background for when I start going through my prompts. I have like a lot of ideas that I can add onto the prompts and not like have to like pause the game to think of more prompts. So yeah, that is where you all come in. You need to give me some more punishment ideas and you need to give me some more prompt ideas, please. But with that, that is my new game. I hope you understand it. I think it makes sense. It makes sense to me, so I hope it makes sense to you. But if not, I think when I actually start the game in July, when I actually physically do it, you will understand probably more rather than what I'm explaining. But yeah, that's my new game. I can't wait to start it in July. I just hope it is a good one and I don't get so many rolls and like awful prompts and then go, I wish I never did this, but I know what I'm like. It probably will be awful, but that is the fun of it. But yeah, thank you for watching. Take care. I will see you all again soon. Bye.